why did God make the world in 10 sayings? What God did is that every time he made another saying, he hid himself, he cloaked himself in nature. Which means is that originally God created the world. It was very obvious to see that God created the world. But then God said another saying, and every saying God cloaked himself with another hidden cloak, I guess you could call it, in nature, which means it was more difficult to be able to see God through the natural world because of the 10 sayings. What did the 10 makot do? The 10 makot, one by one, revealed God, took off those hidden cloaks. And how did they correspond? So if you're putting on 10 coats, the last coat that you put on corresponds to the first coat that you take off. Now, I know that sounds very simple. The last coat that you put on is the first coat that you take off, right? Okay, so the first makah that God did corresponds the 10th covering that God made himself. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me so far? Okay, good. The 9th makah is the second one. Very good. Okay, so that's why what the 9th makah was what? Was darkness. What was the second saying? Oh, let there be light. What did God say in the beginning? Let there be light. Now corresponding that is going to be darkness. The 10th makah, for example, was makat bechorot, was the plague of the death of the firstborn. The makah, this corresponds to the first saying, which was, we said, was Bereshit bara Elokim, is also considered as a saying. The first, words of the Torah is a saying of God as well. Now that is why Bereshit bara Elokim. That's why makat bechorot, we know the 10th plague was only done by God. It says, what it says over there, it says, Ani Yehu v'lo achel. Only God did the 10th makah b'chol. We're going to get a little bit deep, and then we're going to get a little bit light. So stay with me in the deep part. Only God did the makah b'chol. Why only God did the makah b'chol? Because as God removed every cloak, everything, you realize that there's only God. There's only God in the world, and there's nothing else. That's why the final makah corresponds to God fully revealing himself. Now that God fully revealed himself, only God is able to do the final makah, because at the end of the day, it's all God. This is why, and this is actually the Chidush Harim goes on and explains it like this. He says you have the 10 makot corresponding to the 10 sayings, the 10 mamarot. This leads to the 10 commandments. And that's why, finally, when God removed all the cloaks, all the hidden, then what is the first commandment? Now that you're revealed, and now that you could see that I am God, that's what it starts off, Anochi Hashem Elokecha.